folks, Eric with One Stop Guitar here. Today we're going to talk about basic chords and how you can hammer on or pull off notes in them to make them more exciting. I was using an F chord, a C chord, and a G chord. We'll stick with that theme for today, but you can do them with bar chords, you can do it with any chords that you can have an open free finger with, or two fingers. So let's get to it and let's show you some cool ways to get your chords sound a little stronger. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is demonstrate what I did in the video. I'm going to take an F major chord. If you don't know what an F major chord is, I'll break it down for you real quick. You should know your basic chords for this video though. So my ring finger's on the fourth string, third fret. My middle finger is on the third string, second fret, and my first finger is on the second string, first fret. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this middle finger off the guitar. Now, when you talk about guitar in theory, you can get very technical if you want to, or you can get not technical at all. The choice is really up to you. I like to be able to do both because I like to know what I'm playing. So to show you that, I'm doing an F sus chord, and I'm hammering this finger down. When I hammer it down, I have my F major chord. So it's an F sus 2, and then when I hammer this down, it becomes an F major. And I pulled it off also just right there. So hammer on, and then pull off. So when I'm doing this, I'm only hitting the strings once, then I'm hammering, and I'm pulling off. I have videos on hammer-ons and pull-offs if you don't understand that technique. If you don't understand that, you probably should go back and look at some of the other videos, some of the more beginning videos, because you could get lost in this lesson. The next one I'm going to go to is C major chord. And it's going to be another suspended type chord where I'm taking my middle finger off again. So I'm going from the second fret of the C chord. I'm pulling it off, which gives me a D. And I'm hammering it down. And I can pull it off also. It's up to you if you'd rather hammer on or pull off or do both. I think it's what the song calls for. Or if you're writing your own stuff, what you feel more comfortable doing. Simple stuff. Then the G chord here, I grabbed a different type of note that you might not grab with the G. It's very cool to experiment too. I always tell students, asking the question, what if, is a huge thing you can do as a musician. What if I put my finger here? What if I tried this chord instead? The more you ask the question, what if, the more creative you can become. So what I did was, here it becomes a G5 chord, and then I'm taking the third away basically, and I'm hammering down here, which I'm going from a G to an A, so that's going to give me another sus bass chord, a 2 or a 9 depending on how you look at it. Now the thing that's cool about these chords, depending on how you play them, with this G right here, I'm only using my middle and ring finger. I'm muting this fifth string with my middle finger. That's a whole nother lesson in itself, but in terms of time, I'm just lightly touching this middle finger on that string to mute that string because I don't want that note in there. Now if you look at these two fingers, my first finger and pinky, they're free. That's why it's cool sometimes to play chords that aren't your basic type of chords. If I did this with my first finger down as a G chord, I've only got my pinky free. But if I lift up this finger, I've got these two guys free. I can come up with different chord shapes. I can hammer on stuff. I can pull off stuff. The biggest thing I'm doing is I'm taking that G bass chord, that G5 chord, and I'm turning it into music. I'm not just playing chords anymore. This is definitely more of an intermediate lesson because you got to have that individual muscle memory in your fingers to be able to stretch and grab these notes. It looks really easy, but I've been doing this for years and years and years. When I first learned how to do this, it definitely took some time for me to get used to having more control over my pinky. You can do this with all sorts of chords. Here's a C bass one you can do it with. Windows Rolled Down by Amos Lee is a very famous song. out right now that he does that. Dave Matthews, a ton of different artists use this technique. But it's a great way for you to start playing more interesting things than just your basic G, C, D type of chords. Hope this lesson helped you out. If you want a little more in-depth lesson on this, feel free to go visit onestopguitar.com. Have a great day.